He wants to help get you seen farther. The show is called Hey Jeff Pollard.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff Pollard at Jeff Pollard 11 on Instagram, and we have another exciting episode with another exciting great guest.
Yay!
Thank you for coming. Who are you and what are you about?
So my name is Jen, and my user handle on both IG and YouTube is the.jenn.abides. I am what I call a casual theme parks blogger, but I've dabbled in other things as well.
A casual theme parks blogger. Now, we got 3 in California for anyone who's out, so if you're in the SoCal area, we got Six Flags, Disneyland, well no, we got more, Knott's and Universal.
Yes.
So we have the 4, and then if you go up north, there's a few Six Flags ones.
Yes, there's Great America,
Okay.
which is, I believe it's seasonal, and that's in Northern California. I went there a long time ago as a kid.
Really?
I think it's closer to San Jose.
San Jose, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And then there's nothing in, like, there's water parks, but do you do water parks?
I used to do water parks as a child, and then you become an adult, and then you realize how kind of unsanitary that is, so you end up not going to water parks as much as an adult.
You went, but you didn't vlog it.
Yeah, never
Okay.
vlogged it.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's truth. But shout out to Raging Waters and Wild Rivers, right?
That's right. Oh my goodness.
For all the SoCal people.
Yeah, remember those commercials, right?
So where are you primarily?
So I'm a big, huge Disney fan, so that's
Disney.
why I do Disneyland a lot.
Okay.
I have done some Walt Disney World ones. I've actually done a couple at Tokyo Disney. I think I've done one Knott's Berry Farm. Yeah, I've done a couple at Knott's Berry Farm. I do kind of these vibe videos because sometimes I'm not really in the mood to put on, you know how it is. You put on like the personality for the camera and everything. So sometimes you're like, well, you know what? I just kind of want to get the vibes of this park. So I just film a lot of B-roll and edit it together and have some background music to it.
I appreciate that, honestly.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. By the way, you might hear the cries of a good-looking cat here, but I don't know if we'll be able to show you. That's I appreciate you kind of saying that because, like, yeah, I get it. And FYI, I'm always this personality. I'm not human. I never have other things where I'm serious or anything. But no. No, that's cool. So it's like you hit up those. I, just kind of to relate on you, it's like I've been to the France one, Paris. I've been to Tokyo.
Oh wow!
one.
So you've been to France? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I went to the Disney one there.
Nice.
And that was the first time a realization because I was kind of a kid where I'm like, oh, not all theme parks are the same.
Yeah, that's correct.
Their Indiana Jones was an actual loop.
Yeah. No, I that's the bucket list is to go to all of them in the world, all the Disney parks in the world. So I've done Disney World, here of course, and Tokyo. I still need to do Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Paris.
Okay.
So but yes, like all theme parks are not created equal. Like you got your Disney, which is like top tier, and then you go to Universal, and sometimes people like are kind of mean about Universal, but our Universal Studios Hollywood, it's a pretty incredible park considering how landlocked it is, and it is an actual running studio, and the fact that they're building this Fast and Furious roller coaster on the side of the mountain is insane. Like, they did a bunch of stress tests, and I'm like, well, it'll probably be safe the first year, so I'll go ride it at least once. I'll probably end up vlogging, like, the first week that it's there, because who knows if it's going to crumble from the mountain. But, we got our Super Nintendo land first before everybody else.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
They're gonna open one. They're gonna
Florida.
open one at Epic Universe over in Orlando, and then of course the Japan one was the very first one. But domestically here, we got the first Super Nintendo World,
Really?
which is nuts.
Funny enough, I kind of know where all the Disneylands are around the world, and I knew Universal's in Florida, but not anywhere else. So I didn't even know it was. Where'd you say, Japan or China?
Yeah,
Sorry.
so Japan.
Just
So
Japan?
there's
I didn't know that.
I believe there's 4 Universals. So there's one here, Orlando. I believe it's Singapore. Oh no, there's 5. It's Singapore, Osaka, and then Beijing.
Huh.
So I believe that they did the one in Beijing to compete with Shanghai Disneyland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, all right. So you get into the theme park. Now I don't know how you want to focus, where it's like a specific theme park, or like you get into a theme park. Walk us through it. Like, what's your jab? Like, what do you do? What's your episode like?
So especially with like the theme parks that I don't frequent as a local. Like Disneyland's very much like, hey, there's like a special event or something or other. And so I do my little cheesy intro in the beginning. It's so funny because my best friend goes, yeah, that's not your true personality because I know you swear all the time. There's no F-bombs on the channel. So,
that's your version.
Happiest place on earth. So,
motherfucker. No.
So then what I do is I do the whole intro, kind of cheeseball intro, and I go in and I'll say, hey, there's this like a special event. Right now we've got food and wine going on at DCA. I've yet to record it. I would like to record it because I'm actually going to be heading on a trip soon.
Okay.
And I will not be back in time for the end of the festival.
Okay.
But anyway, I just do my shtick, and then I go in and I'll like just basically like record kind of vibes a bit. Like I'll actually record going down like from my POV down like, for example, Buena Vista Street at DCA if I go to that part.
Okay.
And then if I go to Avengers Campus, I'll go like scope the area. If there's a show going on, I'll do like little bits and pieces of the show. Sometimes I've even interviewed Avengers on Avengers Campus.
Very cool.
Especially if there's like they do special appearance for certain characters whenever they're advertising for, like, example, like, Loki Season 2. They had Loki in his TVA outfit, and then OB, Ki-hee Kwan's character there as well.
Okay.
So, it's kind of very freewheeling. I'm not one of those people that, like, writes down the outline and the schedule of what I'm going to do. It is very
freestyle.
freewheeling. Yeah, it's very freewheeling. So...
I like it.
But it's kind of like, my whole thing is that I like to portray kind of like, this is like just what it's like to go into the theme park.
As a regular folk or because they're an influencer?
Just as a regular folk.
Right.
I mean, it's like that Temple of Doom quote, right? It's like, what does it mean, Dr. Jones? Fortune and glory, kid. I was into that idea. Not so much anymore. And now it's nice because once you start getting feedback from people, like, I went to Tokyo a couple years ago, and I recorded, there's a Beauty and the Beast dark ride that's over at Tokyo Disneyland, and I did a ride through of it. I just filmed the whole thing, but me being myself, I am, I'm authentically commenting on the ride, because, I didn't know what to expect. It was my first ride through, and I go, holy crap, you, like, board this teacup, and you're like, okay, it's a dark ride, it's a kid ride, and then it starts moving, and I'm like, whoa, this thing really moves, so you do hear my commentary in it.
Yeah, okay.
I don't edit out commentary. I try to leave it in there, because then that's what makes the video unique to me, right?
Yeah.
And then I've got comments on that video that people are like, oh my god, I love that you shared this. One guy was like, oh my god, I cried. I can't wait to go ride this ride.
Cool.
And it's very touching. You realize, once you're in this kind of this dark hole that you're just editing. I mean, you understand. You're just editing and doing your thing.
Oh, okay.
But then once people start commenting on your actual content,
that's where it's worth
you start realizing you're like, oh, this actually has an impact. Like, this is, I don't have to have, like, 50,000 subscribers to, like, have an impact on one person. Because that's kind of all that matters, right?
Oh, I'm the same way. Like, the one comment or the video that's made for that one person. Because it is rewarding to be like, especially when you don't know them.
Yeah.
And they come out at you, and they're just like, hey, bro. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it's really, cool. To be cheeseball about it, it's kind of a beautiful thing. It's very touching because we live in such a world of such technology and screens, and everybody feels apart, right? I mean, I think that especially happened after the pandemic. But, I mean, I've had people that have just loved my videos, and, I'm sitting there being like, wow, I've had 1,000 views on this. I've had, like, 7,000 views on it. But it's a lot of videos that I notice that do well are the ones that, oh, hey, I'm experiencing this for the first time. So then people want to be able to experience that for the first time.
Okay.
Or, hey, like, I recorded this parade that's at Disneyland. Does everybody make it to Disneyland? Probably not, Yeah. Even if you're geographically within Disneyland, it's a very expensive park to go to. I think it's the most expensive one out of all the Disney parks in the world.
100 something now, bro.
Oh my god, it's like it's over $200 for the park hopper. Like, it's incredible how expensive. And then guess what? In comparison to Tokyo, with the conversion rate right now, it's about $60 a day for one park over at Tokyo.
Right.
And those
That's
are
still up there.
And granted, I've not been to the other parks, the Disney parks in the world, but I think Tokyo is probably the best set of parks that are out there.
I was really impressed by their volcano.
Incredible.
Really cool looking.
Incredible.
It really sticks out.
Yeah, because they did Tokyo Disneyland, right? Which was modeled after, of course, Disneyland. And it's crazy because it's very much frozen in time that the cast members that went to go train them were like, you know, the original cast members from Disneyland.
Is it that old?
Yeah, it's like, so it's 1982 was when it opened.
Really?
So because it was so close to, like, you know, in comparison to now, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
not a
yeah.
lot of like original cast members left, but I mean, at the time, they're like, okay, we're going to send over cast members from Disneyland to go and train the ones at Tokyo.
Cool.
And so you go there, and it's like, it's insane. The Japanese people have a level of customer service that's out of this world. You couple that with 1950s Disneyland customer service.
Which was good. Or better.
Insanely good.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's really weird. You're sitting in this modern setting, and you're like, this is really good customer service, and it's like Disney branded customer service.
Yeah.
And then you move over to the second park, which is Tokyo Disney Sea, and it's really funny because originally
Has that been around for a while?
that has been around since 2001. Opened the same year as DCA here, which is insane.
Funny enough, I was there before. No, I was there after 2001. Okay.
Yeah. So what happened was that, you know, Disney approaches Japan because Japan's like it's run by OLC, the Oriental Land Company, because Disney can't own land in Japan because they're an American company. So OLC is the Japanese company that owns the land, and then they ended up building it. So what happened was, it was funny. OLC goes to Disney and says, hey, we want a second park. And Disney goes, okay, let's send you ideas. So the first thing they send them, a studio park. And they're like, no, that's not going to make money. Everybody has a studio park. Walt Disney World has a studio park. DCA kind of was a weird, like, mesh of, like, studio and what else when it first opened. It's a very strange park to begin with. And then...
And what's DCA for everybody?
Oh, Disney's California Adventure.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's local lingo. and then even Paris has a studio park. So Tokyo is like, nuh-uh, we ain't doing no studio park.
Stick out.
And so Disney came back to them with several ideas, and then this Tokyo Disney Sea Park came about. Okay. And it originally was supposed to be in Long Beach, which was insane. They were originally going to build a park next to the Queen Mary in Long Beach, way back in the day.
Way back, okay. Well, way back, because no way you could do it now.
Yeah, I mean, they still got to save the Queen Mary, so...
That's true. They would turn... Yeah, that would be an attraction.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would get that. Okay. You know what it is now, because this was a while ago that I was in Japan, so I'm thinking we just didn't have the time and the pleasure to go to each theme park, but I kind of remembered having different segments you had to get into and like tiers and all that. Now, do you know this trivia? I think I was told, you know, because this was a while ago, that they took the schematics of the blueprints of the American theme park. And so everything was like slight, because, you know, obviously it's different sizes in different countries. Mm-hmm. Have you heard about that? Because I could tell you this. This is a fact that when I was in Japan, I kept hitting my head a lot because
yes,
their doors are slightly smaller and their shower head came down to my chest. So like I heard there was rumor or fact that they took it, but then they had to like readjust everything. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I don't know about the rumor specifically, but I mean, I do believe that. It's kind of like how... I have some friends that went to Hong Kong. Really tall guy that's part of that couple, and he couldn't go on Space Mountain because he was too tall. Yeah, so they do build it according to what they think their audience is going to be.
Sure. No, and that's what makes it so... I mean, I always, every so often we talk travel things, I always have to promote, you just have to travel. You learn so much.
That's very good advice. That's incredible advice, actually. It really is, because you start...
so much.
Yeah, you start exposing yourself to other cultures. I mean, everybody really does this whole thing that I'm not a big fan of, is this very much othering of foreign countries. They're literally just people living in other countries, and it's just different environments, right? Yeah. I mean, Japan, it's so funny because people will be like, oh my god, Japan's so technologically advanced. I just had to help my friend out with booking reservations for Tokyo Disney Resort. Japanese websites are abhorrent.
Really?
Like, they are
smooth,
awful.
Huh?
Dude, if we had to QA that, it'd be, like, ridiculous. Like, I'm sitting there being like, it's gonna load at some point.
Really?
I'm gonna sit here and sing a song, and it's eventually gonna load. So,
exactly.
Yeah. But worse, like, you know, I mean, they have this thing called a Suica card, and it's basically, you load money onto it, and you can tap certain points. So originally it was just for the trains. Now you can go to, like, a vending machine, like, boop, and then it just takes your money. You don't have to deal with all the coins and everything, and they make it so easy in certain respects, you know? And people are like, that's surprising about the website thing. I'm like, oh, dude, it's not great. And they use the same font, the same real bad font. I don't know which typeface it is, but it is just... It is hard to read,
For
man.
hiragana and all that? It's all calligraphy and stuff. That's wild. Oh, no. I mean, and like now I know we're kind of going off the side of traveling, but it's like, that's where you learn. You go, okay, because like, for anyone who just wants to be like, oh, the internet, toxic or whatever, you'll go online, you'll read something and they'll go, oh, this country, and you go, but if you travel and you explore and you learn, you go, no, every country has their ups and downs and
Absolutely.
pros and cons.
Absolutely.
You can't go anywhere, like, you know, and be like, oh my god, that's it, you know, it's
Yeah,
like,
no,
they
absolutely.
all have a flaw. So anyway,
Yeah.
there's that. Okay, so you get to would you say that now employees, cast members, people there, are you at the point now where they kind of know you now, or are you still?
I am friends with some of the Avengers on Avengers Campus.
Can you name drop some of the superheroes?
I have there are different Loki variants. I have one that I call him Bestie Loki. They call him, some people call him the OG.
Crocodile.
They call him OG Loki because he's been there since before there was even Avengers Campus. Apparently they had
What characters?
they had just an area in DCA that was like the Hollywood backlot, and apparently they built some sets or some like Avengers set kind of pieces back there.
Okay.
So they used to have the Avengers meet over there before they built the campus.
Got it.
So I have, there's different variants of Lokis. There's one that he's starting to recognize me now. It's funny. There's one that he does his whole shtick of his whole flourish when he meets people. And it was really funny. The last time I met him, he goes, "Oh, it's you." and I'm like, I wave at him like I'm 5 years old.
That's a Loki remark.
Yeah. I wave at him like I'm 5 years old. I'm like, sorry. And the couple behind me were busting up laughing. Like they couldn't stop laughing. It was, and there's these moments, right, that you don't get on camera, but those are like the best moments, right? And like there's a Captain America that is very handsome. And I call him the hugger. He likes to hug people. So now, because he knows me, he always goes in for the hug. And I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Is he mask on or mask off?
Mask on.
Okay, so you could just see the charm through that mask.
Oh, yeah, that man is charming. He knows he is.
Handsome jawline, huh?
He's a very handsome man, but very, very nice, very sweet.
Okay.
But yeah, some of the cast members, even the ones that are the character attendants, they recognize me too. Oh, do you want to come up here?
Are you able to, or like, is it safe to say this is, because you're using Disneyland examples, but is it the same when you go to other parks, or can you quickly tell us like what you do differently at Universal Knott's or any other, if that's even the case?
So I feel like, for example, like Tokyo. So Tokyo, especially being with Japanese culture, that's a very different kind of park to film because there are a lot of filming restrictions. Filming Beauty and the Beast was kind of a very hello, hello, buddy.
I think maybe his head's popped up.
You see the back of his head.
And his bum.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
So like Beauty and the Beast, the Beauty and the Beast ride that I recorded over at Tokyo, that was kind of a rare instance because I feel like Tokyo was very much about kind of preserving the mystique of their rides, so that encourages you to go to actually experience the park, right? But again, like I said, there's a lot of filming restrictions. Granted, I see some American vloggers that are like, we don't care about the rules, they will get the shot no matter what. They will literally tell you, like, hey, no filming on this ride. I said, okay. I just put away my phone, because that's what I primarily use, and then I just enjoy the ride. Which is kind of nice, because it kind of forces you to not be behind the lens. Right, exactly. Because we're so fixated on that, right? So I was rewatching my Tokyo vlogs because I was kind of like feeling a little sentimental and being like, hey, I kind of want to revisit the park. Sure. And so, I do a lot of stuff I do a lot of POV, and then like I'll walk around the park and just kind of comment on it and be like, hey, there's this. Oh, wow, that's really cool. It's funny, you can tell how excited I am to be there. and then I'll like review footage, and then sometimes I'll put up like little like subtitles on the bottom just to make remarks about stuff. Like, for example, I was waiting to go into Tokyo Disney Sea, and there was this cute Japanese middle-aged man. You could tell he was so excited because the gate started lifting and he started kind of hopping around a little bit. Oh, and cool. I like made sure to point that out. I'm like, that guy is just as excited as me to be here.
He's my hero for the day.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's kind of cool. Like, I do these videos, and like I said, they're very organic, right? I go and I film, and then I get the footage, and I go, okay. And a lot of people have, you know, once you get really in the muck of the internet, right, you're trying to figure out, you're like, okay, I want to be a vlogger. I want to be a theme parks vlogger.
Okay.
How do they plan it, right?
Okay.
And once you start listening to, like, the BTS videos, the behind-the-scenes videos, everybody's like, well, you know, like, I need to build a narrative and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And that's cool and all.
Yeah.
But, like, me personally, I'm like, okay, like, well, how can I edit this together and just make it be like, hey, here's the day in the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll do, like, a lot of, like, you know, I call them the selfie videos that I just go and talk in the camera, just be like, okay, reverse camera, and then I just talk to it, right?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, and I'll even say, like, little pieces of advice, especially with Tokyo. I'll be like, hey, when they say don't film, please don't film, especially because I want to go back to the park. I don't want to be ugly American, you know?
Representing.
Yeah, I don't want them banning Americans from the park because apparently Americans can't listen to rules sometimes because there is no live streaming at Tokyo Disney, and a couple of vloggers have done it, and I'm like, you should probably follow the rules.
Yeah.
You should probably follow the rules, especially when you're putting your face out there. That's the other thing too, right?
Well, and when you're vlogging it, you're easily traceable.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
Because it goes back to your homepage.
Exactly. I mean, there's been some vloggers that, like, have gone into areas of Walt Disney World they were not supposed to and got banned from the park
Yeah,
because
I kind of hate that.
because Disney will be monitoring your videos. Everybody's going to be looking at your videos, including the big guys. So, like, Universal, they'll look at your videos, but I've heard a lot of instances, hasn't happened to me personally, that Universal will be looking at somebody's videos and they go, here's a valid complaint. And they'll reach out to that person and be like, hey, we need to sit you down and talk to you and see how we can improve our process. Which is insane, right? But it happens. But that's good, right? That's good. You want things to improve. It's like this thing with Epic Universe over in Orlando for the new Universal Park that's going to open up. That's going to be insane. But I'm like, you know, everybody's like, oh, are you going to go opening weekend? Are you going to go check it out? And I said, that's one of those things that I don't want to be the first in the queue. I kind of want them to work out the kinks on that before I go. So we'll see how that pans out. So that's, you know, I
that
go
could be
and
fun, though.
Right. No,
see
for sure. Oh, for sure. When you're the first one in the door, yeah, that is always an interesting thing.
That's true.
Right?
I hear you.
So, but yeah, like, that's pretty much what I do is I go to the park and I film what I think, okay, that looks interesting to me. I film that. You know, sometimes I'll film shows. I like filming shows at times. Filming shows are the easiest thing. So, like, Deadpool had a show at DCA because of Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah. So they had the original show, which I did record, and then I just put it up on the internet. It's so easy for a show because all I gotta do is I don't even have to appear in the video. I just put my intro, show, outro, and I put it on there, and then a ton of people are happy because
format.
Then a ton of people are happy that, like, oh, cool, like, I can just, like, watch the show, and if you know, especially when stuff is so seasonal here over at Disneyland because it's a locals park, right? Okay. And yeah, so they're always trying to bring in, like, the locals because they're like, hey, here's this new thing or whatever. Okay. And so but then, you know, on the other hand, you know, for, like, going to Tokyo and stuff, that's another thing that I'm like, okay, well, who has, you know, does everybody have resources to go to Tokyo? Not necessarily, right? That's an expensive plane trip over there. Yeah. The park itself may be relatively cheap in comparison to here, but it's the ticket. It's the ticket to get to the country is what's going to cost you some money, right? So I really like being like, oh, like, I walk around the park, I do POV a lot, and then I'll just, like, comment on certain things. And then, like, especially with the Tokyo one, I'll talk about etiquette, you know. And me, this is what drives me insane, right? People, they like to film, so I film here, especially when I got my iPhone, and it's eye level, right? People love to film here.
Yeah,
right?
What are you, a giant?
Because of the crowds, right? But the thing is if I can't get it here at the POV, then I don't shoot. I said, oh, you know what? There's too many, like, people here. There's too many heads. I can't see the show. You know what? I'm not going to do this because this is very rude. And this is ruining the...
you're blocking people.
Right. This is ruining the experience for everybody else. I'm very, very considerate of other people around me, or we're more like I'm very aware of other people around me, so I try to film according to my perspective, so I'm not blocking other people's perspectives. It's like a lot of vloggers are like, oh yeah, like here you go into the store and you go through things. I don't do that. I rarely do that because it's just so disruptive to the shopping experience for people.
I could vouch for her keeping it eye level. It's just at the same time she'll have her Cat in the Hat on, or her
I take my ears off. If I have ears if I ever hear, now I wear a baseball cap. But if I hear
top hat or something,
yeah.
she'd be like, "But I'm not." No.
Yeah, no, it's my best friend was the one that turned me on to that because my best friend likes to wear the Minnie Mouse ears, and she goes and she took them off.
I'm joking,
she took them off when we were in a theater. She took them off, and I go. Oh, she goes, yeah. In Tokyo, they actually tell you. They're like, before you watch a show, they're like, oh, they say it in Japanese, and then they say it in English. They're like, oh, can you please take your ears off so that people can see?
No excuses.
Yeah, no, that's about.
I don't know Japanese. Yeah.
It's a very valid, that's actually, it was a joke, but, I mean,
no, it's
very valid.
Well, I mean, Japanese culture especially is all about like respect, so, respect your elders or respect the culture, just respect of generational things, so I totally understand that, and it's a nice trait to roll over also.
Yeah.
Is there anything you plan on doing, something new, or is it status quo while you do it? Is there something new you could tell the viewers you're going to do, or something we can expect from you? I know you kind of hinted at certain things like travels, but like, what's happening after this video?
That coming soon. Yeah, it's so funny because when you reached out to me, Jeff, I was like, I'm gonna talk about my YouTube channel, which I haven't updated in about 3 months since the Deadpool holiday special.
We're allowed to take breaks.
Actually, yeah. I mean, Disneyland's 75th anniversary is coming up.
Okay.
So I'll probably film some stuff on that and what the celebrations are, and then sometimes I do like I do kind of like taste tests that I'll like buy like the kind of the gimmicky, I call it the gimmicky food. Okay. And they're like, oh, this is celebrating the 75th, and I'm like, well, we'll see how good this is. I'm very honest with that kind of stuff because it's where you're gonna spend your money. Right?
I'm a foodie, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, there's some really good food spots in Disneyland. There really are. It's really improved over the years, but. It's one of those things that, like, I do have a lot of ideas in my head. It's just that, unfortunately, when my cat passed away last year, everything kind of came to a halt. But, I have great memories with my family over in Disneyland, and I was sitting there being like, I should start, like, making these videos where I go through the parks, and then I'd be like, okay, like, my dad took me on Big Thunder. I was such a brat about it. I was like, I don't want to ride Big Thunder. But I had the best time on that ride, because I was scared of roller coasters. I'm this tiny little kid. And I, like, refused to enjoy the ride when clearly I did. Yeah. And so there's things like that I would love to go through the park and tell these stories about these memories.
Reminisce video would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because at the beginning when I first started doing this, I said, oh, like, how many subscribers can I get? Okay. But now it's changed very much like, oh, this is kind of like, it's kind of documenting my life, and I have 2 nephews that are both teenagers, 14 and 16, love Disney, love Disney just like their Auntie Jen and their dad, and it's very much like I sit there and I go, well, this will be kind of cool. Like, it sounds cheesy, but I said it's true. It'll be a historical record of what their crazy Auntie Jen used to do in her spare time, and they'll have videos to look back on. Very cool. So that's kind of where I'm kind of going with the channel, that I'm going to be focusing on a lot of park content, but I'm going to try and do like maybe some fun little unique spins to it. I don't mind the day of, like a day of in the life of of random little old me, but like I would like to do, like I said, like the memories video would be nice. And it's like, oh hey, I remember riding like Thunder Mountain here. Me and my family, we've been to the first day when Fantasmic opened, when Fantasmic premiered. That's the show on the lake of Rivers of America. That was insane. That's an insane story because we went and there were so many people there. We were standing in this massive crowd. I'm sure that would not fly now because of fire code, but like we were standing in this massive crowd in front of Adventureland, and you could hear the music going, the show going in the background, and they were only going to do 2 shows that night, and then they decided, hey, there's so many people here, we're going to do a 3rd show. And I was in that 3rd show. They did a 24-hour I guess it's like attraction premiere of Captain EO, which was the Michael Jackson 3D film.
Oh, I remember that.
And
where is it? What is it now, real quick?
Now the theater sits abandoned, which is kind of unfortunate. Oh. Yeah, it's like the crowds are insane now, but it's like a lot of their theater shows since COVID, they haven't reopened them. Really? And it really helps because those are people eaters. That's what we always call them. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean, people eater. Like because it's large capacity within a small amount of time.
Okay.
Same with Haunted Mansion as well. Even though Haunted Mansion it's an omnimover ride that it's constantly loading.
Yeah.
People Eater.
Yeah.
Because it's constantly loading.
Okay.
And then we also did, I think we did Splash Mountain, I think, first day.
Okay.
And I didn't ride that because I was still pretty little, but my brother did. And I think he waited 3 hours to get on that ride because it just kept breaking down. It was insane.
Yeah.
And then we did Star Tours. We did Star Tours opening day, which was super cool. And that was another 24-hour event that they literally ran the park for 24 hours.
Really?
And you could ride this ride. But, I mean, the lines were insane. I remember the lines for the Indiana Jones. They did an Indiana Jones preview. It was a AAA preview, and it was insane. The lines went all the way to the tunnels in front. Like, almost to the turnstiles. It was insane.
Yeah. So, like, you know, talking about lines specifically, there's inside, like, the line inside, like, when you enter the cave or whatever.
Yeah.
But then there's the wraparound before that, which is the outside jungle part.
Right.
I remember it was so popular that then it, like, touched, like, pirates or something.
Yeah.
It just kept going.
Yeah.
And it was like a 5 hour. It was so long. I mean, it felt like a 5 hour.
Yeah.
But it was just so
I'm sure it was.
it was so
That
long.
ride broke down a lot. It still breaks down, but that is one of the best rides that they have ever made.
It is a fun one.
They actually did one in Tokyo, and it's a reskin. It's still Indiana Jones, but they just kind of changed the story on it.
Okay.
The queue looks different,
Okay.
and certain parts of the ride is different. But it is incredible because you ride that ride. The Japanese are so good at maintaining their stuff that you ride that ride, and you're like, this is what if like our home attraction was well maintained. Like this is
smooth. And
I mean, speaking of old rides, so there's so it's cool that and Universal Orlando was a really unique park in the sense that it wasn't just like here's the studio tram tour in the back, and I always said that it's like they kind of divided up like our tram tour into different individual rides. So they had a Jaws ride that you're actually in a boat in the water, and the mechanical shark comes up and shakes the boat itself. Like, incredible ride.
That'd be fun.
Still exists over in Osaka, over in Universal Studios Japan. I rode that ride again with my best friend, and it was a trip, right? Because the last time I had ridden that ride was like back when I was a teenager, at least the one in Orlando. And I took my best friend, who I've known her probably since 2000, right? And that was long after this ride had closed. And it was so funny. Or before we even started adventuring around, like, the country and also outside the country. But anyway, I took her on this ride, and it's a trip. Because I sit on the ride, and I was like, man, it's like I'm 14 again. Then I turn and I look at my best friend. I'm like, no, I'm not 14 because my best friend's here. And I said, this is kind of incredible. And yes, it's all in Japanese because they're all Japanese skippers. But it's incredible. The shark comes up and like shakes the boat, and I'm really cheeseball. Like, if I could have recorded, I would have. Can't record on that ride. That's a rule. But it's so funny. I get so cheesy about it. It's like, oh god, here comes the shark. Oh no, And it's just, I just love it. And I was a very serious kid growing up. So now as an adult, I'm like, I need to be more cheeseball and have fun with it. That's why I'm friends with the Avengers on Avengers Campus. Friends, as I like to tell people. Everyone's like, oh, you know them? I was like, know them. Like, you need to understand this is still very a professional relationship here. Like they are working. That's the other thing too. You see people and they don't understand the concept that these people, it's people that are working and they're in suits, like it's a very interesting world when you hop into it because you meet all kinds of people, right?
That's very true.
And I'd like to think that the cast members that recognize me, they're like, oh, she seems normal. And my best friend said, well, the fact that you're sitting there wondering if you're weird or not, you're probably not weird.
Well, that's true. I mean, you're not crazy because you're fully aware of it.
Yeah, not completely crazy.
I love it. Well, that's perfect. I love it. This is definitely one of our extended chats. I would love for you to have a extended chat in the future one day.
I am more than down, Jeff. Unfortunately, I think you're going to get more than you bargained for with me. I love to talk.
I'm okay with it. But yeah, if you have any inspiration to make the world, and it's my last question, a little bit better, a little less stressful, do you have any advice you can give the public?
It doesn't cost you anything to be nice. I've noticed that with a lot of people, especially after I feel like with this pandemic. I was really hoping that people were going to be kind of a lot kinder to each other.
Because we're all dying.
And it kind of went the other way. But, it costs you nothing to be nice. Like, I talk to the cast members all the time at Disneyland, and that is a tough job. And when I talk to them and I chat with them, and you know, like sometimes like they have like lineups for the characters and stuff,
Yeah.
and I'll miss the lineup. Like they have to cut at a certain time because obviously the character can only be out for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, okay.
And you know, I'm always polite about it. I said, oh, you know, they're like, oh, sorry, the line's cut, and I was like, oh, that's okay. Like, are they gonna be out later?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, like they'll be out in a little bit. I'm like, okay, cool. And then sometimes I'll just sit there and chat with them. Now it depends on your personality, right? Like I love to talk, so obviously, you know, but it's always nice to say please, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, one of the biggest things is that with characters, just say hi. Don't just go for the photo. You know,
Yeah.
say hello. I mean, I've become friends with them. You don't have to, but it always helps when you say hi. How are you? How's it going? So,
no, just be nice, folks.
yep. I think that should be on a shirt. Just be nice.
Just be nice.
Instead of Nike's, just do it. Just be nice.
Just be nice. I like it.
There you go.
Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care, everybody.